I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Well, now that Avengers Age of Ultron has finally come out and is proceeding to make all the money at the box office, and piss off all the dumb people on Twitter, it's time for me to stop talking about Marvel's less successful efforts in the movies and start talking about two of their more successful efforts in TV, The Incredible Hulk and Daredevil. On one hand, you've got the hit NBC series from the 70s that turned Bruce, or in this case David Banner, and his rage-fueled alter ego into pop culture icons. On the other hand, you've got this year's critically acclaimed Netflix series that is pushing the boundaries of the Marvel Universe and has saved the Man Without Fear from the grasp of that shitty Ben Affleck movie. And though it'll be a while before we see Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and Charlie Cox's Daredevil crossover, you can see the Hulk and Daredevil team up in the 1989 TV movie The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which was one of 3 TV movies from the late 80s and early 90s, which brought both Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno back in those iconic purple shorts 6 years after they got cancelled. And since the last movie introduced Thor, the producers thought it'd make sense to introduce Daredevil in the sequel, and potentially give him the chance to get his own TV show. But though that show never happened, one can only hope The Trial of the Incredible Hulk lives up to its title and crosses over the worlds of superhero action and courtroom drama. You know, something like this.
Does Hulk think they deserve to die, and Hulk hope they burn in hell? Hulk out of order? You out of order! Hulk court out of order!
I want the truth!
Hulk no think you can handle truth!
So we begin with a familiar scenario to those who've watched the original show. David Banner is working dead-end jobs under false names so he can stay off the grid until he can find a way to control the raging spirit that dwells within him. This time he lands in a big city that also happens to be the residence of blind lawyer Matt Murdock, played here by Rex Smith, who also has a raging spirit dwelling within him. The paths of the two men cross when Banner tries to stop 2 thugs from assaulting a woman on a subway train, which forces Banner to Hulk out and accidentally has him take the blame for the woman's assault. So Murdock is assigned to Banner's case, even though Banner tries to warn him that having him stand trial would be a big mistake.
I can't stand trial.
What do you say?
I have to avoid people, conflict.
You're not well?
I change.
We find out how big a mistake it is when we cut to the courtroom scene, and boy, is this scene everything I ever wanted from this movie. Banner hulks out on the witness stand. He flips the jury box over after some random juror throws a chair. The Hulk kicks Murdock's ass and breaks his cane. He chokes out the prosecuting lawyer, and Banner wakes up to reveal that it was all a dream. That's right, in a movie called The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, the Hulk never actually stands trial. What kind of horse shit is that? That's like making a movie where all the Hulk does is look at ponds and brood over his daddy-ish. Oh, that's right. The dream forces Banner to Hulk out for real though, and breaks out of prison. But Murdock is far from giving up on this case, as he finds out the 2 goons on the train were under the employ of crime kingpin Wilson Fisk, played here by Danny DeVito dressed as the Terminator. John Rhys-Davies. So as Fisk kidnaps the assaulted woman, Murdock decides to investigate as his crime-fighting alter ego, Daredevil.
Son, you got a panty on your head.
And soon, he and his green mean client start to bond with each other and form a strange alliance.
And Hulk will always love you!
Well, okay, it's not that kind of alliance, but hey, it's by far the most interesting part about this movie. Seeing as this is a TV movie from the 80s, you're not getting the kind of narrative or technical expertise you usually expect from Marvel these days. You can see where the Hulk's makeup stops, the goons dress up like a worse version of the Foot Clan from the first Ninja Turtles movie, and the way they portrayed Daredevil's radar sense is a tad dated. Holy shit, he's not the Daredevil! He's the Predator! Predators in the big city! Get Danny Glover on the phone! But if you keep that in mind, you may find the rest of the movie is pretty decent. The character stuff between Banner and Murdock really works, and John Rhys-Davies puts in a marvelously hammy performance as the Kingpin. He's so hammy in fact that he can be found in this one scene literally chewing the scenery. Though it's not essential for you to see this, it's definitely not the worst portrayal of either of these characters. So, if you do watch this, just prepare to enjoy the character moments. And don't go in like I did after I saw that title, thinking this is going to be the Marvel version of 12 Angry Men. Hint hint, Marvel, make that shit happen! You won't need gamma radiation to unleash the raging beast inside you. All you'll need is several cases of booze and a chance to play the awfully good drinking game. Take a shot or drink every time David Banner turns into the Hulk. And though you may laugh at how cheesy the Hulk looks nowadays, trust me, I've seen worse.
It's happening.
What you going to change for? Now you're teeny tiny.
Pocket Hulk.
Someone gets thrown into electrical equipment and gets fried. Oh goddamn, that's a lot of juice for a simple piece of medical equipment. Is Electro one of the patients at that hospital? Daredevil throws out another cheesy quip.
Intermission.
See what I mean? No. I don't see it all.
You see, it's funny because I'm blind. And take a double shot not just when Stan Lee makes his first cameo ever in a Marvel movie, but when the movie clumsily tries to explain how Daredevil got his name.
You're asking me who can take on the organization? All right, I'll tell you. Maybe some kind of a, I don't know, crazy daredevil, if you will, could hurt them.
Jeez, that might be worse than when they tried to explain it in the Ben Affleck movie.
Go ahead, fight me, I dare you. I dare you.
Actually, no. The Affleck movie's worse. And on the nudity watch, seeing as this was made for TV, there's no boobage to be seen here, except for the rippling abs of Mr. Lou Ferrigno, which he also showed off in the 1983 version of Hercules, which gives me another excuse to show that clip of Lou Ferrigno throwing that bear into space! Oh, let's see you try that, Mark Ruffalo. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, the trial of the Incredible Hulk has been found guilty of cheesiness in the first degree and has been sentenced to a 6 out of 10. Your sentence? Spend a night with Brigitte Nielsen dressed as She-Hulk. Ugh, thank God that movie never happened. I'm Jesse Shade for JoBlo.com, and since this movie did not feature any strong female characters, I am going to go on Twitter and threaten the people who made it with death threats, just like they did with Joss Whedon over Age of Ultron, because I need to feel good about myself! And there we go. Hey, Lou Ferrigno, what are you doing here?
Joe Blow, he sure likes to drink a lot. Joe Blow watches movies like the hero man. Joe Blow, he's not just like the summer Hayek.
Hey everyone, Jesse Shade here from Awfully Good Movies. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see me take on more good bad movies, click on any of the links you see here, or subscribe to see this show alongside all the great content that we offer here at JoBlo.com. And remember, I love you. Wait, that sounded wrong. But I do love you though.